So what if your company didn't operate like a machine, but more like a living, breathing organism? Today, we're going to dive into a pretty radical new blueprint for how organizations can work. One that's designed not just to survive, but to actually thrive right alongside AI. Let's get into it.
Right. I want you to just forget everything you know about those rigid boxes and lines on a typical org chart. Instead, try to picture an organization that adapts and evolves in real time, like a natural ecosystem. And look, this isn't some far-off sci-fi concept. It's the future of work, and we're unpacking it right now.
So, what's the big problem we're trying to solve here? Well, it's pretty simple, actually. Most companies are structured using blueprints that were drawn up for a totally different era. They were built for stability, for predictability, not for the constant chaotic change we're all dealing with today.
And you can really see the difference here. We're moving away from these fragile, top-down pyramids that are just so slow and siloed. And we're moving toward these dynamic, collaborative networks that are agile and, this is the really crucial part, resilient. This isn't just some minor upgrade, it's a complete paradigm shift.
Okay, so how do we actually build these new kinds of organizations? Well, it all starts with a new foundation, a whole new operating system for how we work. And that's where this idea of dynamic governance comes in.
I absolutely love this metaphor. Think about it. Scaffolding isn't the building itself, right? It's the support structure that lets the building be constructed or repaired or even changed over time. It's strong, but it's also adaptable. That is exactly what a system of dynamic governance is, a flexible framework for growth. And here's what that really means, in a nutshell. Dynamic governance is basically a system that's built on three core pillars. You've got adaptive management, which just means learning and adjusting as you go. Then there's decentralized authority, pushing decisions out to the edges where the best information is. And finally, systemic collaboration, which is all about breaking down those silos so we can solve complex problems together.
And this, right here, is where all that theory hits the real world. I mean, it's not enough to just talk about these big ideas. You need the actual tools to make them happen. A concept like decentralization stops being just a buzzword when you have a system that makes it crystal clear who has the authority to make which decisions, all across the entire organization.
This toolkit is what makes it all work. We're talking about org charts that are alive, that change as the work changes. We're talking about super clear role definitions. There are even systems for processing what are called tensions, which in this world are really just signals that something could be improved. These are the nuts and bolts that make the whole scaffolding actually stand up.
Okay, so we've got the human system humming along nicely. But now we're adding a super powerful and, let's be honest, potentially chaotic new element into the mix: AI agents. And this requires a whole new layer of coordination.
Just think about it for a second. You could have dozens, maybe hundreds of different AI agents, all performing tasks, making decisions. Without some kind of central system to guide them, you just have total chaos. You absolutely need an air traffic control tower to manage all that activity, making sure every single agent, whether it's human or AI, is flying in formation.
So how does this air traffic control system actually work? Well, it's built on four fundamental mechanisms. You can think of them as the rules of the sky that every AI agent has to follow to fly safely and get things done. Let's break them down. First up, we have the registry. This is basically like passport control for every AI. Before an agent can do anything at all, it has to register. It has to declare who its human counterpart is, what it's allowed to do, and, this is critical, when it needs to stop and ask a human for help.
Next, there's the shared state. This is the single source of truth for everyone and everything. It's the live, real-time map of everything happening in the organization. Priorities, tasks, decisions, you name it. Every agent is constantly checking this map to make sure it's working on the right thing at the right time. No confusion, no outdated information.
Third is the event stream. You can think of this as the central communication channel. So when one agent does something important, say it detects a critical bug and flags it, it broadcasts that event out. Any other agent that's affected by that bug can see that message and react to it instantly. It's what allows for seamless, real-time teamwork.
And finally, we have the policy engine. This is the digital rulebook. It contains hard-coded rules that agents simply cannot break. Things like, no agent can commit code without a linked ticket. It's the ultimate safety net, making sure every AI operates within the clear boundaries that we humans have set.
So, we have the scaffolding for the humans and the air traffic control for the AIs. What does all of this actually add up to? Well, it's all about forging a true, effective partnership between people and machines.
You know,
The core challenge that I think we're all going to face is this uncomfortable gap. AI can do certain things incredibly well, way better than us, and humans excel at other things. Navigating this gap, figuring out how to blend these two sets of capabilities without creating a ton of friction, that's the real key to success.
A system like this is the bridge across that gap. It gives us the tools to actually see where the bottlenecks are in that human-AI workflow. It helps us redefine our own roles so we can focus more on creativity, strategy, the stuff that we humans do best. It even helps us map out the cultural friction that, let's face it, always comes with this kind of massive change. And this really is the end goal. By automating all that routine stuff, we free up human brainpower. Our focus shifts away from just being efficient and moves toward real innovation, creativity, and deep collaboration. We get to spend our time on the high-value work that truly needs a human touch.
And so ultimately, our whole definition of success has to change. The goal can't just be about doing more things faster. It's got to be about measuring our impact in terms of innovation, in terms of breakthroughs, and genuine creative output.
So let's kind of bring this all together. What does this all mean for how we actively, intentionally design our future at work?
When you boil it all down, this is about taking big, complex, sometimes really abstract ideas about how organizations should work and making them real. It's about building tangible systems with practical tools that let us create organizations that aren't just surviving, they're designed from the ground up to thrive in the future.
And that leaves us with one final and I think really critical question. If AI is going to be the new workforce, then who is responsible for designing the workplace where humans and machines can truly thrive together? The answer is us. The blueprint is in our hands.